Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Etude House Heart Cookie Blushes. I picked these up because they looked very cute in their little packaging. It's like a little heart shape. It does have like a little lip down the bottom, so it's kind of like a cookie base, which is brown, and then like maybe like frosting on top. I wasn't expecting it to be like not... What's the word for that? I wasn't expecting there to be a lip down the bottom. I find that really bizarre. But there are 5 colours in the collection and they looked really cute. I like the look of the colours also, so I decided to pick them up because why not? It's been a while since I've had an Etude House blush, I think. So for these ones, the product description says, a pure pigment blush that gives your cheeks a lovely pop of colour. Clean vivid colour, colour powder with the increase of scattering efficiency of light to achieve a clear colour. Soft and natural blending, the smooth blending effect of oil coating powder particles naturally dyes the cheek without clumping. Firm clear fitting, powder absorbs the oil from the skin and minimises colour change or irritation caused by sweat. The packaging of these products is very cute but kind of very hard to store and stack, which is a bit annoying for me. Like I said before, they do have a little brown section on the bottom and then a colour on the top. I like that they have the colour on the top because then I can tell which one I'm picking up, because that can be difficult if the packaging is always identical. They do come with the tiniest little puff for ants. I have not used them and I do not plan to. I don't hate all puffs that come with products, but I do hate the ones that are so teeny tiny or don't have anything to pick up with. So this one is quite nice because in a way it's tiny, but you can actually slip your finger underneath, so you can use like 2 fingers to like if you really wanted to. I find that it's harder to blend a smaller puff than it is to blend a brush or a really gigantic one. So like I'm not opposed to a puff that's like most of the size of my cheek, because if I pick up the colour in the centre of the puff, then I can kind of like, it blends itself out. This is really hard. Yeah, no, not a fan. So apparently there's like, I don't know, what did they say? A short, dense, soft texture evenly adheres the blush and adds colour to the skin with less irritation. Sure, I don't know. There are 5 colours in the collection and there is a really pretty range. There is even like a darker red and a brown. So I feel like the shade range is very inclusive for this one and I really like that a lot. PK001 Pink Salt is hands down my favourite colour in the collection. I use this all the time. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it because, I don't know, like, I feel like I have probably got something that is this colour, but I can't really think off the top of my head about what it would be or where it is, because I don't keep that many blushes. Maybe I will keep this one. I wish I could depot it though, because I just hate the packaging stuff. So this is how Pink Salt looks like on one cheek versus nothing. It is a really pretty colour. It's just pink. It's not like bright pink, but it's like a natural pink, which I think just looks so nice. I do have to apply like 6, 7, 8 layers of this to get it to show up on my skin, even though I am fairly pale. Like I said before, I'm not Casper the Friendly Ghost. I'm not so pale that I'm translucent, and I really dislike it when people say that, like, you're not translucent, stop it. But it does, yeah, it does show up eventually. You just have to do quite a few layers, and because of that I am working my way through a lot of the product in a short space of time. So it's not really that financially viable, because it is so light. This is probably the lightest colour out of all of the colours as well. Why they would do that to me, it's so rude, I don't know. Funnily enough, the company doesn't revolve around me, so I can't say anything about that. But yeah, it is the one that probably has the least pigmentation. It's the hardest to build up, but it is my favourite colour and it just looks so good. When I say build up, it's just me applying layers and layers and layers. I'm not really having to blend it, which means that the foundation underneath is still staying very stable, which is really great. So it looks super natural and it's just really pretty. So this is PK001 Pink Salt. OR201 is just called Peach, and this is my second favourite out of the whole lot. It's just a really nice peach. It's not like very pinky, it's just a really light wash of orange, and I just think it looks really nice. So this is without and this is with. This is quite a light layer. It's just started pouring down rain. I hope you cannot hear that. It's been a very rainy day today, but it is such a light colour that it's not really going to build up too much more than what that already is on the pan. So you can just keep packing it on, but it's not going to really change the colour too much because obviously the colour itself is very pale. I think that this is a really nice colour though, because it doesn't have too many of those white tones that you often get with really pale or very like light coloured pastels for blushes. You don't end up with like a white glow on the cheeks, even though I'm applying so much product. So this one is my second favorite. I wear it a fair amount when I'm wearing more orangey colors. So this is OR201 Peach. OR202 Apricot is the darker of the two oranges. This one is quite pretty. Like with these blushes, like with all of the colors apart from that red, you do need a few layers to build it up. This one is a fairly bright, so I would only use like 3 or 4 layers, and then that would be the desired color for me. So this is how I would normally wear the color. This is how it looks like without. And then with, it's just a really nice like fresh orange color. It reminds me a lot of the peach sea orange that I have as well. So it's just that same sort of like tangerine kind of color, rather than, I don't think that this one is particularly apricot-y to me personally. Apricots are like very soft. I guess they're like, I mean, what's the difference between the apricot and a peach then? Like pinky? I don't think like peaches are supposed to be that pink, whereas apricot to me would imply at least that there's more pink in the orange tone rather than just orange. So this is OR202 Apricot. RD301 Ruby Red is a red shade, of course. What else would it be? This one is very pigmented, so I'm just going to apply the tiniest amount, and it's a huge amount, of course. So this one is really nice, I think, sort of like as a point. So normally when I use like a darker shade like this, I would use a lighter shade underneath and then apply this like to the very center of the blush, and then that'll kind of like give it a bit of depth and deepen it up. So there we go. So this is how it looks on one cheek there without. It is quite a bright red. Yeah, I don't really use this by itself. I don't think I've probably done it once or twice just to see how it looked, decided I didn't like it, then stopped doing it, which is a pretty normal reaction, right? Yeah. It's kind of like almost an orange, like a tangerine kind of blush color. Yeah. So this is RD301 Ruby Red. BR401 Toffee is a brown color. This one is like a really soft, gentle, I would say neutral color. So I don't normally wear browns. They're just not really my cup of tea. I struggle to get them to work in a blush way because they always just look like I've put bronzer in the wrong place. This one isn't too bad. It does look a bit like I put bronzer in the wrong place if I keep building it up. I would only use this much. So this is what it looks like without and then with. So you can definitely see it. But yeah, it doesn't really lean orange. It doesn't really lean pink. It really is just brown. And I kind of like questioned, is it supposed to be used as a bronzer? But when it's used in the promo pictures, it's not. It's used as a blush. So that is how I will use it. It's not my favorite. I have worn it a few times. Again, I did wear all of these blushes by themselves. But yeah, it just doesn't look as good on me as the other shades do because it looks like a bronzer. So this is BR401 Toffee. When I swatched these, was all set to hate them. When I was swatching them, I was like, who would want to buy this? Because when you swatch it, like 0 color comes off. It was ridiculous. Like I was having to go back like 3, 4, 5 times sometimes with a finger to just get it to swatch on my skin. And this is me like really pressing quite hard into the pan, like over and over, like picking up the product. And I was like, this is stupid. You cannot see them. Apart from the red is really pigmented because it's red. And then I put off trying them on my face because I was like, surely the Roman ones are better. So I was using the Roman ones. And then when I tried them, I was like, okay, I'm here for this. I like these. And it's like the most bizarre thing because surely if they don't swatch well, they're probably not going to look good on your face either. But they do. You just have to build it up a lot. I am not opposed to that because I have fairer skin. It's not super pale. I'm not Casper the Friendly Ghost. But there are a lot of times where if powders or blushes or whatever are really pigmented, I can end up trying to blend them onto my skin so hard, like really like blending, so much so that my foundation gets blended off underneath. I do not understand how like these beauty gurus are like blending the absolute life out of their faces and they're super full coverage. I guess it's because it's really full coverage probably. But my makeup does not do that. So if I blend too much, like if I'm really trying to like dig deep and blend stuff on my face, the foundation underneath is going to come off and I'm going to end up with weird bald patches and it's not good. So I like these because I have to build them up, but they don't look like too powdery. They don't look like clumpy like the product description says. They just look nice and really, really natural. I have been using number PK001 Pink Salt as like a go-to color for the last month, I think. I'm wearing it today. I'm also wearing a little bit of the RD301 Ruby Red as like a little bit of point color to give a little bit more color to the cheeks because it looks better on camera. But normally day to day I would wear this so much. And then also there's like a little peachy one, which is OR201 Peach. Nice names. Yeah, this one is excellent also. They're both like very light colors. So they're, yeah, not super pigmented. I also really like the other orange, which is called OR202 Apricot. This one's a bit more pigmented. It's a little bit more of like a brighter orange. I don't get a huge amount of use out of the brown because it's brown. It's just not a color I gravitate towards. And the red I still find slightly too pigmented for my skin, but it is like a bright orangey red. So it's nice to have something that is more pigmented. So for people who want something that is more intense, you can mix and match them together because that red actually goes with the pink and it also goes with the oranges. I haven't tried it with the brown. So if you wanted something that's just a little bit more, you can add the red on top of them and it won't look too powdery, too obvious as well. So they're super, super natural, which is bizarre because I thought that they were not going to show up on my cheek whatsoever, or I was going to have to like scratch the surface of them. I am not here, by the way, for scratching the surface of products to get them to work. Why would I take away the top layer of something to access the product? Like, I'm paying for the top layer of product. I'm not getting rid of it. That's stupid. Why would you buy something that you have to scratch the top layer off to get to work? I do not understand that. That was a very strong side deviation, but that's okay. I am actually a huge fan of these. I really, really, really like these to the point where I'm like, should I keep a few of these? But the colors are not very unique. So the peach that I really like, this is a very similar color to NARS Sex Appeal, which I have and I love, which also does a really good job of building up and being layered and everything, except very expensive. But I like the packaging of the NARS better, not because it's cuter, but because it stacks better. These ones are such a pain. They do not stack well. They don't stack on top of each other because they're super thick. Like, imagine the amount of room that you need in your drawers to keep this collection. Not so great. It's cute because it's got hearts on it and everything like that. I like that. But yeah, I mean, it's almost to the point where if I had like what would they call them, like Z palettes or something? I've forgotten. If I had one of those, I would try and depot this to keep it, but I do not. So yeah, I don't think that pink in particular is that special. It's just a very nice pink. So I might keep the pink, but probably not the other colors. However, I really, really like them. And if you don't have a ridiculous amount of blushes like I do, and you want something that is super, super natural and it comes in a really cute container, I would strongly recommend them. And I haven't felt this strongly about blushes in quite some time. It's probably like one of my favorite formulas that I've tried. I can't really think of a formula that I still have that I like better. I do very much like the Etude House Dreaming Swan blusher collection. That's a really old one. Those ones were probably the last ones where I was like, I love these, like I've loved these, which is strange. Like, why are you not keeping these? I don't have the room for them. The colors are not unique. I just cannot justify keeping them, unfortunately. But if you want them, I would recommend them. So thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I will see you in the next one.